Today I'm at Montana de Oro State State Park, and we're going to climb two peaks today, Valencia Peak and Oates Peak. And after we get to the top of Oates Peak, we're going to drop back down into Coon Creek Canyon, and then we're going to come back on the Rattlesnake Trail to get back here, which is pretty much Spooner's Cove. So it is late September right now, and it's actually pretty cold right now. It's like 44 degrees out, so that's kind of nice. I'm starting to feel like it's fall time, and I love this time of year. It's like my favorite time of year. So we also just saw right at the start a couple of pheasants. I think they're pheasants. I'll show them to you. I've never seen those around here before, so that was really cool, and they're kind of fearless. So hopefully you got to see that. Hopefully you enjoy that. So let's go check it out. Valencia Peak in 2 miles. So I just hit the top of Valencia Peak, but there's kind of too many people up there to be doing video up there. At least, I don't feel comfortable with it. So nice views from the top, not very windy. I expected it to be a bit windy, but now we're heading back down about a quarter mile before we head on a side trail that connects up to the Oates Peak Trail. So we're gonna run down this for a little ways before we head down to the Oates Peak Trail and start climbing again. So let's go. I feel like I've gotten a little bit lazy over the last few months, taking some time off to heal the leg, the shin, and then having to back off a little bit as that healed. Now, these 8 to 10 mile runs, I keep thinking, wouldn't it be nice to be at home right now with a cup of coffee? Yeah, sure it would, but there's major benefit to being out here instead. But those thoughts keep passing my mind, and I need to let that go. Sometimes on my runs I don't make the best decisions, and today's turning out to be one of those times, and it kind of relates back to what I was just telling you about feeling kind of lazy. So today I thought 8 to 10 miles, I don't need a Camelback, I don't need any liquid, so I've got nothing. And right now I'm really thirsty, and we're only like 4 or 5 miles in, so yeah, and then that feeling lazy, I'm like, well, maybe that's a good excuse to have the car instead of finishing this run. It's a cyclical thing. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep going. We're nearing the top, and we'll be heading down into Coon Creek Canyon, and from there it's almost all downhill except for going from Coon Creek back to Spooner's Cove. So just need to grit my teeth and get through it, and get some liquid when I get back to the car. And then I need to go crazy on the liquid after that. Otherwise, I cramp up pretty bad, and that's not nice. And it's always due to lack of proper hydration. So we're gonna keep going. I wasn't lazy. I made it to the top of Oates Peak summit, and it was funny because as I was climbing a couple of these hills behind me, these really steep hills, I saw what I thought was a person at the top of this peak when I got to the top of the first hill, and I thought, oh, I hope I get the peak to myself. I hope they're done by the time I get there. So I continue on. I get to the top of the second little peak, and the person's still there. I'm like, oh my God, like, how long do you have to rest? Although everybody has a right to take in the sights, so I'm not complaining about that. So I get up here, and I was just angry. I was so angry that I flipped this bench. I was trying to intimidate the guy, going, God, get out of here! But it wasn't the person at all. It was this sign. So of course I didn't flip the bench. I probably can't even lift that thing. Of course I wouldn't be angry if there was somebody up here, but we are now going to head down the Oates Peak Trail that heads down into Coon Creek Canyon, and that heads right down that direction there. So I'm gonna get going before I tell you any more really stupid jokes. As you can see, it's a bit overgrown on this trail. It's not too bad, but it is overgrown. But we do get into these nice little oak tree groves, and the oak trees are covered in moss and lichen. It's really nice. So we're heading down into Coon Canyon, which is probably the lushest canyon in all of Montana de Oro. Montana de Oro is not that big of a location, but it's one of my favorite places because of it. So there's a few bridges and more trees, and I'm really thirsty right now. I was thinking about telling you this little story about earlier this week on my run on, I think it was Wednesday or Tuesday, how I took a spill. I was running and I tripped on a rock and took a spill, and just a moment ago it happened again. So, and this one was a little bit worse. So I've got a nice gash in my hand there, and my legs are bleeding a bit. When I fell on a downhill on a rocky section, which is, just perfect. I mean, couldn't ask for a better place to fall. And as I fell, my leg cramped up too. And then on top of that, there's nobody up here right now. There's somebody right around the corner, and he's like, "Hey man, are you okay?" Which is really nice of him, but I'm just like, oh, come on. Not only did I have to fall in a rocky section, not only did I have to have a cramp in my leg, but I had to do it in front of somebody. So anyway, that's part of running. So, these things happen. So we'll keep going. Back on the Coon Creek Trail now, and I'm happy about that. I'm dripping with blood, but I'm happy to be on this trail because that means my run is close to being over. And I did want to explain something here real quick though, just to be clear. I mentioned that I don't have any liquid to drink right now. Don't do that. That's not very smart. Sometimes people could get stuck places. I could have fallen and broken my leg and would have been stuck out here without liquid. People get hit with heat dehydration, you know, heat stroke. Don't go out without water. Don't be stupid like me. I should have brought water. So just want to make that clear. So let's get this trail done with. I was seriously thinking about taking the road back to get back to the car as quickly as possible, but I just couldn't do that. I couldn't take the road. So I'm not even sure if the road's any less distance. It probably is, but it's really beautiful on the ocean here. So. The run is over, and I'm very glad for that. I need to get myself some liquid right now and get home and clean up all these scrapes and blood on my legs and my hand and my hip and my elbows. It got pretty warm near the end, so again, I should have brought water. Always bring water if you're going to be out for more than like 45 minutes, especially if you're on trails. So other than that, a tough run, that's sometimes a good thing. So I hope you enjoyed this one. We got an 11 and a half miles. So that's pretty good. That's more than I was expecting today. So I'm happy with that. So again, I hope you enjoyed it.